Hello everyone, Jeff again, Elite Sports Shooting. Welcome back. Today what I want to do a recap video for the entire year for 2022. Before I get going, I usually give a shout out to the Gunsock team, the Gugalooza Gunsock and the Jalisi Gunsock. Now the Jalisi Gunsocks are a little bit more elastic, they have a little bit more elasticity to them. The Gugaloozas, they do not. They're actually not bad. You can get them in 4 or 6 inch width. This is the 4 inch, and they're perfect for a shotgun. The Jalisis are actually really good for rifles. So anyways, back in January of 2022 when I started this whole project, I started with my very first shotgun. My very first shotgun was the Mossberg 500 Flex. So I've got probably between 10 and 11,000 rounds through this. It has the 24-inch barrel. It's ported. It's drilled and tapped. There's a couple of really cool things about this shotgun that I really liked. You could actually swap out different kinds of stocks. I wish it had a better or a longer barrel. This is the 24-inch barrel. I wish it had a 28-inch barrel. But for what it is, it's actually a pretty good shotgun. It's got a nice, good, solid recoil butt pad. It's a 3-inch gun, so it shoots 2 3/4 and 3-inch rounds. It cycles like a dream, but I don't know if that's because it's got so many rounds through it, and it's really well used. I'm not sure. But I will say this about this shotgun here. I never cleaned it till this year. Since I owned it, I've never cleaned it. I never paid much attention to it, and then I took it apart. Figured, hey, I better clean it. But it's got the tang mount safety, and then it's got the dual beads. But I really like it. I thought it was a really good purchase. It was a really good shotgun. It served me very well. So I really do like it. I would like to get a newer 500, not a Flex, just a 500, a Mossberg 500, more of a hunting 28-inch barrel, and then I do another video on it. But I don't want to pay $550 because the new ones that I've seen from Cabela's, they sell between that $500 and $550. So, and this is Canadian funds, but Cabela's does have really good sales. I will say that. I will mention where I purchased every single one of these, and Cabela's does have really good sales. Now, this is a Beretta A400 Extreme Unico. I wish it was an Extreme Plus because then it'd have the higher vented sight rail. And it would have come with the oversized controls. If you've watched any one of my videos, you know how much I love the oversized controls. This shotgun here is absolutely amazing. The retail price on this was about $27 and change. Very nice shotgun, very well done. I love Beretta. It's got the kickoff recoil reduction system, which handles the 3.5-inch rounds. Wow. If you want to go back and check out the recoil, earlier this year I did a recoil test at the range, and you could actually see when I had it up to my shoulder, it didn't push me back like it wasn't too bad when it came to recoil. Now, like I said, this is a 3.5-inch gun, so you can shoot 2 3/4, 3-inch, all the way up to 3.5-inch. Beautiful shotgun. The look of it is actually pretty darn sexy. It's got the 28-inch barrel. It did not come with the extended choke. It came with three mobile chokes, and there is a difference between the mobile choke, or this is the Optima choke system, and the Beretta A300 runs the mobile choke. Big difference. So that shotgun there does not like the light target loads. So if you're shooting clays, sporting clays, trap shooting, that kind of stuff, then you probably want to go with a handicap round, minimum 1200 feet per second. There is a few shotguns in here that it actually indicates in the manual minimum 1200 feet per second. They do come anywhere from 1045 to 1145 feet per second in the light target loads. So then we did the Stoeger P350, and I will tell you right now, I've never given a shotgun more of a chance in my life than I've given this shotgun to redeem itself. So when I purchased this came in at that 500 and between 550 and between $550 and $560 Canadian. So it's a good shotgun. It's solid. Like, it is a solid frame. It's a solid composite stock. It's a aluminum receiver. It's a really good sharp shotgun. It comes in at almost 8 pounds. But I have to clean this bolt every single time that I shoot it. And I'm very good at cleaning my shotguns, but I clean it before I use it and after I use it. For some reason, I have to clean and lube the bolt before I fire it, or else I get a lot of misfires. But as far as a shotgun, it's actually a pretty darn good shotgun. This shotgun here, I love the high vented sight rail. Stoeger did an amazing job with that. I prefer that high vented sight rail myself. Like, you can tell that it's fairly high. I don't know how high. I guess I should measure it. That'd probably be a good piece of information for everybody. But it racks pretty good, a little on the sticky side, and I do lube this. I lube this every time, lube the slides every time I shoot it. So anyways, it does have a partial inertia system. When you're shooting 3.5 inch rounds, it does open up that bolt, and some of that inertia is actually taken in the shotgun itself. So what I mean by that is, when you push it forward and it locks, you pull the trigger and it'll actually push that bolt back a little bit, so it actually absorbs some of that that felt recoil, so you don't get it all like right into the shoulder. That Mossberg, you feel everything. You physically have to pull it back and rack it, where the newer shotguns actually will open up, and then you don't have to have a full rack or a full rack. It usually just opens up just a little bit. So very handy. Like I said, fairly light recoil for a pump action. Now, the Mossberg, or I shouldn't say the Mossberg, the Benelli Supernova. Wow, what a shotgun. It is a little bit heavier and comes in at that 8 pound mark. Beautiful shotgun though. It's got the good recoil butt pad. It has a soft comb, semi-soft comb cheek pad. It does have a recoil reduction system. It For what it is, it's actually pretty darn good. Composite stock, composite receiver, composite foregrip, and then you got the metal, the chrome lined barrel. And inside the receiver, there are some metal parts. So, you know, as far as durability, you could shoot this your entire life and hand it down to your kids, and they could probably shoot it all their life. It does have the higher vented sight rail, not as high as a Stoeger, but still, it's got a higher vented sight rail. It does have a mid-bead and a fiber optic 4-bead. This one did come with 3 chokes. I can't remember which chokes, but it came with 3 chokes. I think they're the cryo. It's the cryo choke, the cryo choke tubes. The MSRP on a Benelli Supernova is roughly in that $850 mark. You can find them on sale when Cabela's is selling them on sale online. You can probably pick them up for between $785. It's around that $780 mark. In Calgary, there is a place that sells them regular price for that $775, $785. But very good quality, very well built. Now, I didn't know much, really anything about the Stevens brand until I had to do some Googling on it. Now, the Stevens name goes back to almost the same time when Winchester was founded. So the difference is Stevens was founded back in the 1860s, and then they basically they were in business right up until the turn of the century, the 19th century. They were sold a couple of times, and then they were actually scooped up by Savage Arms, and they were built till the 1960s, and then they dropped the Stevens name, and they just, you know, stayed with the Savage Arms. And then in the 90s and 1990s, they brought the Stevens name back, and basically as an entry-level shotgun to compete with like the Mossberg 500, the 870 Express, some of the entry-level shotguns. Now, when I say this is actually a pretty good shotgun, like, it is a pretty good shotgun. I picked this up for $329. It was on sale. Regular $400, and now this exact model sells for over between that $400 and $500 mark. So I'm always looking for deals and sales and stuff like that. But this shotgun here, it is it is a pretty good shotgun. I will not call it cheap, because I have shot this thing quite a bit, and I've had a trouble with it ejecting once. It was almost like the ejection port wasn't big enough, because the round kind of came out and kind of hung there. It's just how it ejected. I really don't know much about, you know, maybe it was just kind of wedged in there when it was coming out. Maybe that rotating bolt didn't kind of rotate it out and toss it out quick enough. But anyways, the composite stock and the composite foregrip in that mossy oak shadow grass, beautiful shotgun. Like, just the looks of it alone. It's got that really big oversized trigger group. It has the 28-inch barrel. Now, the front crossbolt safety, I'm a fan of the front crossbolt safety. I really like it. It's drilled and tapped for like a Picatinny rail, or for turkey hunters. For an inexpensive shotgun, this is actually pretty good quality. I will say that. So, Winchester has got a long name. Now, there has been a lot of comments that I've gotten on these. Guys have had issues with this. It's cheaply made. I've had a couple of issues, but they're issues that I can actually fix. I'm pretty good at fixing things and kind of figuring things out. But a couple of things that that I do like about this, I do love the composite stock, the rear rubber butt pad, the oversized trigger group, the front cross bolt safety. I really like that. The high vented sight rail, the front fiber optic sight. Now, I went to the range with a buddy of mine, Dustin. We only had one issue with this shotgun. While Dustin was shooting, he ended up having that bolt lock into the barrel, and we could not get it unlocked. We literally took the entire gun apart. Then we were able to unlock the bolt from the barrel, and I was able to pull it back. I did a little quick clean on it. It happened to him. It happened to him again within a couple of minutes, but it's never done that to me. I've probably put between 400 and 500 rounds through this. I really like the way this shoots. It also has the recoil reduction system, we call it. It's not the recoil reduction system. It's the inertia. It's a partial inertia system, where it'll open up the bolt and kind of absorb some of that felt recoil, so it doesn't come right through the shoulder, as well as the Benelli Supernova. But I really like this shotgun. It comes in at just over 7 pounds. It mounts really well. It has the 3.5 inch chamber, so you can shoot 2 3/4, 3 inch, all the way up to 3.5. It's a beautiful gun until you go to clean it. Now, I did a cleaning video on it. If you have one of these and you are going to clean it, check out my cleaning video. Do not take the bolt off. It is a horse's patootie to put it back on. Now, I did it for everybody, and I think it took me about 3-4 times to get it right, and within a certain time limit. I didn't want everybody just wasting their time watching me try to put that back together. There's also if you open the action and look in, there is like a tab piece right in here. Do not take that out. If you're cleaning it, do not hook on it, do not damage it. You lightly wipe around it with not a cloth that you can snag. It is a pain in the butt to put that back in. It is a nightmare. So could they have done a couple of things better? I think they could have. I think it's a pretty good shotgun though, the SXP. I really do like it. The Browning Maxus 2, carbon fiber edition. Wow. I have never seen a gun this sexy in my life. Now, I've never seen the Maxus, the original Maxus. I do, if I could find one, I think that would be ideal. But what they did is incredible. So you got that nice recoil butt pad, you have the soft comb cheek pad. Now, when I shoot my Beretta, that composite stock kind of beats me up because it's got that lower vented sight rail that's even with the receiver. This Maxus 2 is slightly elevated. So when I'm looking down the sight rail and I line up the beads, I still have a good finger width between my cheekbone and the soft comb cheek pad. But against the side of it is really soft too, so I really like it. they did an amazing job. Browning did an amazing job when they made this. So it has the oversized controls, which if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm all about the oversized controls. It has an oversized trigger group, so oversized that they had to put the crossbolt safety on the back of the trigger. Of course, you know that I like it on the front, but if I'm comfortably right here, you see it, I couldn't even reach it. So fortunately, they put it on the back. It's something I got to get used to. The grip right here, it's got that over molding with a rubber grip, and even with just your bare hands or even sweaty hands, it actually feels amazing. Now, spring and fall and winter, I'm usually wearing a rubber dipped glove, and it sticks to it like glue. So the other thing I like, it has the ivory rear sight or mid sight and the fiber optic foresight. So, and I find that better when I line them up. When I mount and I line them both up, I think once I put this on that, I am pretty darn accurate. And then it came with 5 extended choke tubes. They're just amazing. Like for what we have here, the regular price on this was $22 and change. So $22.50. I got it for well under $2, and for what I got was pretty sensational. I've got probably close to 500 rounds through it. I absolutely love it. I've cleaned it. I've cleaned it twice before, like when I purchased it, and then I took it down to the range, put 500 rounds through it, and then I cleaned it again. I will do a cleaning video on this. But this is pretty darn sensational, and I like the way every time you rack it back, it locks it into the open position. And this is the beautiful part about this: when you are speed loading, so when it's in the open position and you've just shot, you're quad loading. So this is where sports shooting comes in. You take 4 rounds from your caddy, and then you put 2 in, and then you push all the way in and let it go, and it'll actually load that last round. And now you take the other 2 and put it in. I'm not going to load it here in my shop. I think that'd be kind of ridiculous, but there's just the things that they thought about for this. It's incredible. And then they beveled this out. They beveled out the whole loading port area, and they kind of scooped this out on the front of the trigger a little bit too. So when you overemphasize when you're quad loading. So wow, incredible. I can't say enough about this. This is pretty amazing. I do love it. I'm looking forward to some competition shoots this year with it. Now, I got one that took me by surprise, the Gearson MC312. This is a semi-automatic. Gearson actually was, from what I'm told, they were building these for Benelli. This is basically a Benelli M2 platform. Now, it's a pretty good looking gun. This is just a solid jet black. There's nothing really fancy about it, but everything in this action is phenomenal. Now, when I say action, it has the conventional bolt release and charging handle. I don't like the short charging handle. I wish it was a little bit bigger and rounded, because I have cut my hand on it. That's why I left this rubber piece on it. So I leave that on it. It looks kind of funny, but when I'm racking it back, it actually feels kind of, to me, it doesn't bother me at all. When I'm cleaning it, easily pull that bolt carrier right out of there. But I haven't cleaned it yet. I have popped that bolt carrier off though. Now the cool thing about Gearson, and I will say this, is I haven't had a problem with this at all. I have had a few subscribers that had issues with theirs. There's a couple that were pretty upset. But this was just under $400 and from Cabela's, and they usually go for just under $5 for the blackout version, and then they also have a what's it called, a camo version, which is pretty cool. This one here is a 3-inch gun. It actually says it on the side here. Yep, 2 3/4, 3-inch. So they do sell them in a 3.5-inch version as well. I really didn't want the 3.5-inch version. Once you've shot some 3.5-inch, you really don't want to shoot them anymore. They're very expensive. And it's just my opinion, but I don't know how much more, how much of a benefit a 3.5-inch round would be. I think in every 3.5-inch gun that I have, I probably put a box of 3.5-inch shells through it. But this one, just being a 3-inch version, I did shoot some 3-inch through it, and it recoils like a dream. I've got about 3,500 rounds through it, and I won't do a clean on it until it gets to 5,000. They claim that at 5,000, minimum 5,000 rounds before it needs a cleaning, and 10,000 rounds before you replace any parts. So I am doing a test subject on this as well. So when I get to 5,000 rounds, I will post another video about it and do a cleaning video on it. Now the Rite Gordian, this is it's just under 7 pounds. It's a pretty good gun, also made in Turkey. A couple of things about this. That rubber butt pad, there isn't much there. So when you're shooting 2 3/4, it's not too bad. Once you get to that 3-inch, it gets a little bit. It starts to get a little bit much. Like, you can really feel the recoil. This is never jammed ever. That's never jammed. The only one that I've ever had jam on me, or a failure to cycle, is the Beretta, until I went to the handicap rounds. Then no jams at all. So the Rite Gordian has the Inertia Plus system. So it is an inertia gun, but the Inertia Plus is, as soon as you, with the bolt open, you load, you can actually load the shotgun very slowly. Just gently move that bolt carrier forward until it closes, and it'll fire. No other semi-automatic shotgun I have here will do that. I'm not even sure that I'm not confident that the pumps, if you push it through really slowly, I think that's something I'll try to figure out when I go to the range the next time. But the Inertia Plus system on the Rite Gordian is something that this shotgun is infamous for. So it's got the plain Jane composite stock and foregrip. The foregrip is actually a little on the narrow side for my hands. For my wife, it's actually pretty good. She really likes it. It does have that flash mount receiver and the fiber optic 4-bead 28-inch barrel. It's a really good shotgun. I really like it for shooting skeet. but one thing I would probably do is I would probably take this off and maybe pick up a Falcon Strike or another replacement. I'm not saying it's terrible, like it's not terrible, but it will kick. You do feel it. But cycles like a dream. This also made in Turkey. The retail price on this is in that $720 mark. They do sell a Masai Mara, and I can't remember the other one, but they were the Masai Mara, and there's another version, and they're like wood versions, and they were beautiful. This one came with 5 chokes. It was actually pretty cool. Now, I do love my Beretta products. I really do. This is the Beretta A300 Ultima. Now, this has a different kickoff recoil reduction system. It's mainly right in that, right in here, right in the back part of the buttstock, where on the Extreme Plus, it was right in here. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I'm really not that fond of, is that that rubber overmolding. Really, just not that fond of it. I found that when I'm shooting, because I put about 300 rounds through this, 350 rounds, while I was at the range, and we're just getting to know each other, and it just kind of chafed. Now, I got a little bit of a beard right now, but I think that day I had the same amount. Now, I do have 2 fingers, like basically 1 finger width between the top of the comb and the top of the comb cheek pad and my cheekbone. But I don't know what would have been better, not having anything at all, or this rubber overmolding. Now, it does have the higher vented sight rail. This version did come with a 26-inch barrel, so I got the Carlson extended choke tube to make it a 27-inch barrel. It's a gas operated system with the oversized controls, front cross bolt safety, which of course you know I like. Now, the difference between this and the A400, this has got some checkering in here, and it's it's slightly on the aggressive side. If we had a cotton ball and drug it across here, you'd actually see that it'll probably start snagging that cotton ball. But it's not terrible, it's not bad. I really like this shotgun. This shotgun came in at just over $1,200. It's not what I paid for it, but that's what the MSRP is. And my first impressions were amazing. I really loved it. I would love to get my hands on an Extreme Plus. I think I think they would turn into one of my favorite shotguns. I'll probably end up using this one here for potentially competition 3-gun in the new year. But yeah, we'll see. But I got that just a couple months ago, and I really like it. I really do. I can't say much bad about any of the other shotguns that I have except for the Stoeger. I will buy more Stoegers. They do sell an M3500. I do want to get my hands on an M3500, a semi-automatic. They do sell a P3500 too, which the difference would be is kind of like in this, in the pump grip here, in the foregrip. It's it's got a different contour to it. So, I don't know. I may end up just buying a new bolt. Just get Stoeger to send me a new bolt. I think they're $100 when I checked it out online. Now, We ended off the year with a bang. And there's a pun in there too. This is the Breda Sporting Titano 930i semi-automatic 3-inch shotgun. Now, I have shot some pretty nice looking shotguns in my time, but none as nice as this. I had my hands on a Benelli Ethos wood version. It did have the nickel plate receiver. It looks almost identical to that, but this one here is way nicer. A couple of my problems that I had with this is I broke my own rule when I took it to the range for the first time. I did not clean it. When I put it together, it just looks so good. I didn't want to take it apart again. So I ended up taking it to the range, and I had a problem loading. So the auto loading, I don't know what happened. But I did have another viewer mention that in his comment as well, that they had an issue with it loading. Now, when it tried to load it, I'm really not sure what happened. I really have to take this down and put some more rounds through it. I've only got I think between 150 and 200 rounds through it. I usually try to do more than that, but I ran out of ammunition, so it's been a little bit of a gong show. But anyways, couple of things about this shotgun here. It's got a pretty decent rubber butt pad. The wood grain in here looks absolutely amazing. It's got checkering and stippling in the rear grip and in the foregrip. Stippling right there in the foregrip and the checkering on the sides. So as far as gripping it, it's got a good grip to it. Now it has a flush mount vented sight rail with the mid bead and the fiber optic 4-bead. Now the downside is I've adjusted the comb as much as I can. And literally, looking down the sight rail, my cheek is right on that hard the hardwood right there. Now I could possibly adjust this comb a little bit more, and there's an Allen key with 2 screws here, and just kind of collapse that as much as I possibly can. It's got the blue anodized trigger group and the oversized controls, which you know I love, and the 4-end cap there. So pretty cool. It's got the blue barrel, the blued barrel, not blue barrel, the blued barrel. It's really quite sexy. Double nickel plated receiver, and it's a dream to clean, because all you got to do is unscrew the 4-end cap, take the barrel and the foregrip off. This piece right here actually pops off. That's it, you're done. Wow. And you know, then you just have to focus on cleaning. But the other cool thing is you can actually tailor it to the weight you want. If you want the front end or the barrel end a little bit, weighing a little bit more, a couple ounces more than the back end, I put 2 weights on the back, but no weights in here in the buttstock. You just take off the rear butt pad, and then you could screw in a couple ounce weights. Now, the reason why I like that is I don't want to whip it. So when you're doing sport shooting and stuff like that, you end up whipping it. I like it a good weight on the barrel end, so I'm not whipping. The Rite is fairly light on the front end. So I find that I whip that a little bit better, but my wife likes it better. It's lighter for her. Now, this actually came with the 30-inch barrel, and it came with 3 chokes. Yeah. Modified, improved, modified, and full. But pretty darn accurate. I really like it. Cycles really well. It's an inertia system. Beautiful shotgun. Like, when I say beautiful, I don't think I've seen a more elegant shotgun. And I've seen a few. Benelli Ethos has a wood version that I really liked, and I thought it was pretty darn good. So the MSRP on this shotgun here is 23 and change, so 2,300, almost 2,350 before GST, Canadian funds, of course. But that's not what I paid for it. I got a smoking deal on that, and it was a deal that, you know, you had to jump on right away. But I look forward to next year. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of new potential face-off videos. I'm really looking forward to it, really stoked. I will do more cleaning videos on these, but that's it for me for now. I hope everybody liked my video. If you liked the video, click the like button. I really appreciate it. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that. If you have any questions or comments, leave those below. And as always, always remember to keep both eyes on your target. Thank you, everyone, and Happy New Year.